Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the last coffee corner of the summer. It's been fun. When I first started doing this, I wasn't sure if it was going to, how it was going to go, if I was going to do it all summer. And it kind of gave me something to look forward to. Because let me tell you, I got bored over the summer. I've done this, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. 10 weeks. So there's been at least 10 coffee corners, maybe a couple more thrown in, maybe a couple less. When you look at it in the form of weeks, the summer wasn't really that long, but it felt long. Oh my gosh, it felt long. And I think it's just because all of a sudden I went from having a routine to not having a routine, and that just literally threw me for a loop. Ugh. And then I woke up this morning at 3 something and couldn't go back to sleep. So I've been up for 4 hours, and I am still tired, and my eyeball, this one right here, the one I jabbed with the eyeshadow brush last night, is watering like crazy. And I know it's my allergies. I feel all congested, and I don't feel bad. I just I can tell it's allergies, but it's whoa. So I'm probably going to try to take a nap after the stream. But so this on Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah, on Tuesday, I got an email from school asking if I was available Wednesday and yesterday to go in to meet with, because we have a new, all of the special ed teachers changed over the summer. One had been taught general education and then went to special ed, and then one of the gen ed teachers retired, so she went back to gen ed. So they had to get a K through kindergarten and first grade special ed supervisor. Good morning, Timothy. They had to get a second and third grade, they call them resource rooms. So they had to get a kindergarten and first resource teacher. They had to get a second and third resource teacher. And then they had to get kindergarten first, second and third, and fourth and fifth resource teacher. I'm telling you, I'm not awake. And so they had to hire 3 brand new special education teachers. And I was going, at the end of the school year, all the paras were going, how is this going to work? But they filled the spots. So I'm excited about that. So I actually got I think it was last week. I'm so lost. Yeah. Last Wednesday, when I had training and stuff in the morning for school, I actually got to meet our teacher. She sat at our table, because I kind of got to know her a little bit then, but it's been really fun getting to know her Wednesday and yesterday. And then I knew one of the other paras I worked with last year, and so it was fun getting to reconnect with her. One of the other paras, I knew her, I had worked with her a little bit, but she had actually worked with some of the younger grades in the past, and so she was moving up to 4th and 5th all day, as opposed to kind of bouncing around. And then we have a brand new para in the 4th and 5th. She was just hired for at the beginning of over the summer. And so it was fun kind of getting to know her and her personality. And so it was kind of good. We got work done. We kind of figured out which classroom we were going to be in. Like, one of the gals, she is a specialized para. She works one-on-one with one of the students who needs like individualized attention. So her spot, like, she already knew what class, like, she knew what student she was going to be with and what classroom she was in because she was with wherever that student was. But then it was kind of dividing up the other students. And so that got done on Wednesday. And so I will be in 5th grade because I already know them. I worked with them. I worked with one of them last year, and 2 of them were in the other 4th grade classroom. And so I know them somewhat. I worked a little bit with one of the other students, but like not like real a lot. It was like maybe for 1 or 2 days for maybe 1-2 classes. So I've got 3 5th grade boys this year that will be my responsibility to kind of help with. And in the past, we would be like in one classroom, then we move to another classroom, then we go to another classroom, then we go to another classroom. And this teacher doesn't like that. She goes, that creates chaos. And I'm like, yeah. So the plan is that she will take care of, and like, I know that like going in, like, we have, it's called, I know it's best laid plans. Like the thought process is that we are not going to be doing any of the resource room work, or if we are, it'll be really minimal. It's going to be her doing the teacher doing the resource work, which, like, maybe one student needs more help with reading or with math or that kind of thing, and they'll be in a different classroom for that. And we will stay in the gen ed classroom with help the other students that are still in there. Don't know how that's going to work exactly, if it's going to work well. The only thing we can do is try it, see how it works, and go forward. So I do like the fact that we're not bouncing around. I know one of the ladies, like, you never knew exactly where she was at any given moment. Excuse me, because she may be in 2nd grade for this time period, then she may be up in 3rd grade for this time period, then she'd be down in 2nd grade. She's like, I'm glad I'm just in one grade, and I'm like, I'm glad to be in one building, because if you didn't know or didn't remember, last school year I started out just half days at the middle school, then I picked up full day plus with being on the bus, and then being at the middle school, and then being in the elementary school in the afternoons, and then back on the bus. This year, I'm on the bus but at the elementary school all day. So what'll happen is I'll go to the bus barn, ride the bus, ride to the bus location, and then ride the bus to the middle school, drop off the student there, and then the bus will drop me at the elementary. Then I'll be picked up at like between 3:15 and 3:20 to go to the middle school for the student to get on that bus, to go back to the elementary school, to change buses, to go back to the bus drop-off point, for me to change buses and come. I am like, it may sound like a lot, but let me tell you, it's actually a lot more it's easier to execute than you may think. Give me just a second. My allergies are killing me, and I need to blow my nose, and it's not really something you guys want to see or hear, so give me just a sec. Okay, thank you very much for that interlude. It may not have done much, but I at least feel like it's not running out of my nose like a faucet now. Ugh, allergies are horrible. It's been raining here since last night, and you would think that it would cool it off, but it didn't. It actually kind of got like real stuffy and gross. And then like I said, you would think it would cool it down, and it did somewhat, but like the stop and start has really just like it's made it muggy, and there's like no breeze. So it seems like I think it's worse now than it was. I'm like, oh, I hate when it happens. Good morning, Melanie, the Theme Park Adventures. Quick plug for tonight. Tonight is Castle Chat, and it is on my channel. And Melanie from the Theme Park Adventures will be on with us. And look who finally is awake.
Sorry. I was like, I'm gonna get up at 4:30. I'm gonna get up at 4:30. I did not get up at 4:30.
I woke up at 3 and my allergies are killing me, and this eyeball is just like draining water.
Oh God, this one does it all the time. All the time.
And I feel like I'm just a snotty, like gross mess. You can see like my eyeballs are like little squinty things today.
Is it allergies, or do you think you had some sort of reaction to the makeup?
No, because I feel I'm all congesty and nose runny.
Allergies then.
Allergies.
The purple on my eyes this morning. I still had stains on my eyes this morning.
She named her a spider that she drew.
I named it Gertrude or something like that, didn't I?
Gertrude. Yeah, you named it Gertrude. She was sending us video messages to our makeup chat last night. I don't want to take off my makeup. I don't want to. Mommy, don't make me take it off.
I loved it.
I named the spider. Its name is Gertrude. I was like, is Christy drunk?
No, I didn't even have half a drink last night when we
I'm like, I know she said she's gonna smash back the White Claw, but whoa.
I didn't finish it. It's sitting in the fridge. Hopefully it's not flat for tonight.
If it's flat, like find a mixer recipe online.
Oh yeah. And I have plenty of skinny mixes that I could add to it.
There you go.
Good call.
Lena to the rescue. I tried. You won't freeze up and be nervous. You will be fine. We're going to talk about all your favorite things about Disney. So,
Lena does such a good job of making like all the chats super easy and smooth. Like I strive to do that. And it's funny because when she first started doing Castle Chat, she's like, I'm so nervous. And I was like, what are you nervous about? I F it up all the time. And she was so smooth.
I ask the same questions every time, but because I think everyone's is like, I think even if I were to ask Christy the same questions, they would be different than mine. So it's a really great way to get to know a channel. And that means I don't have to do much thinking past, anything. I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be your favorites.
The fun thing is, sorry, I can see my eyelashes drive me nuts. The fun thing is, like, if you come on a second time, which a lot of people do, we don't ask the same questions. We usually just like play a game or have some fun. Mm-hmm. But the whole point is in the guests usually, especially if they're new, is to get people to like, it's all a big, huge community. And sometimes, or a lot of times, there's people that follow you that don't follow somebody else and vice versa. So coming onto a show gets you more visibility to the rest of the community. And if they're interested in you, they'll go check you out. And that's the whole point. It's just, I call it socializing, because if you use the word networking, people frown upon it, but it's essentially networking. But it's socializing.
We come from a corporate job, and so to us, the word means different than it does to other people.
Networking in the corporate world is the same thing we do here on social media, which is socializing. It's the same. It's the same across the board.
Yeah.
I never tell anyone you need to go subscribe or do sub for sub. None of us do that.
Mhm.
We have guests on that we like, and we say, "Hey, go check them out." When you ask somebody to go check another channel out, you're not asking them to sub for sub. You're asking them to go check them out. If you like them, sub to them. If you don't. It's not a big
Mhm.
deal.
Everyone has different tastes.
Go outside to catch the bus. You have to go outside right now.
Do you have an Alexa that bus?
Yeah. So we have an Alexa in the living room, one in our bedroom, and one in each of the kids' bedrooms. And we have it set to where it's their alarm to wake up in the morning. It's their alarm to tell them to take the dog out. It's everything. It's our babysitter.
Good morning, Birdwell. And excuse me, Randy says dead last night, normal today. Impressive. I'm still dead. But
Awesome. Give me a hug, honey.
that's my allergies. Have a good day at school, dear.
We can't hear you. Lena said, "Have a good day at school." Are you not coming over here? You should have taken it. Over. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Poor Lena and her allergies. Mine are always bad too.
I feel like I'm this like squinty, puffy-eyed freak. I kind of felt it coming on last night.
Do you have any like?
Yeah, I've got some stuff. I woke up at 3. I'm like, do I take some? Do I not? If I did,
I just get off screen so I can give him a hug.
that's fine. I'm like, because it makes me so sleepy. Even the non-drowsy stuff makes me sleepy. And so I was like, no, I've got Castle Chat in like 4 hours, and I will be like sitting here half asleep. And so I'd rather look half dead than be like. So, best way to start. My sinus and allergies have been kicking me since Wednesday. Birdwell says the best way to start her morning. Well, I'm good. And I'm glad that this is the best way that you can start your morning. And Christy is dead again.
Yeah, because I had that thing up.
Now she's alive. What is this sorcery? I hold lots of magic. I can make her. And now ready, Christy? Hold on. Ready? Now she's dead.
Oh, wait.
She's dead. See?
Okay, do it again.
Okay. Now she's alive.
Do it again.
Now she's dead. And now she's alive. See? I hold sorcery in these fingers right here. Now, if I can only convince 5th grade boys of that, we'll be doing really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I used so yesterday, you know what this is.
BoxyCharm.
I had a Hughes Laboratories Glam Attack Liquid Shimmer Powder that I used on my eyelids yesterday. And I took pictures and tagged, and now I use the Jekka Black Play Pot of cream pigments on my eyes today. And it just looks like a normal eyeshadow. So both of them were really good. I've always stayed away from like liquid eyeshadow because I was sent some a year or so ago.
I remember that. And it made you this puppy dreamy-eyed mess. I know.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want any liquid shadows. Well, I've had 2 in my last 2 BoxyCharm boxes.
3 because you got one the same time I did.
That's right. So I decided to try them out, and I tried one yesterday and one today, and I've liked them both so far.
Good.
So I think that brand was just like a crappy brand.
Or there was something in it that you seriously were allergic to.
I don't know. I mean, I tried the stuff multiple times, and it doesn't smooth on glide. It doesn't glide on nicely. It's like thick. It's thin, but it like cakes on and just flakes off. It was terrible.
Gross.
It was terrible.
Good morning, Princess Paula. Welcome in. Randy says I'm most impressive. Well, thank you.
Most impressive. She is so magical.
So, I just look bad.
No, you don't.
No, I'm just maybe it's just the glare. I just feel okay. I feel like all through like here.
I mean, it looks a little puffy, but you don't look terrible.
Good. Well, and I don't have eyeliner on, and that's throwing me off. But I'm like, I am not putting eyeliner on for it to run into my eyeball.
I always, so one of the things that I do, and this is just like my personal, where I'm just like, you know how, well, so I have one eye that's droopier than the other. I don't know if you know.
Not really, but I'll.
This eye is droopier than the other, and then I have like those two little birthmarks right there that drive me nuts.
Okay.
But it like draws attention to it, so I don't know. I'm always trying to make this one look higher than this one because this one looks droopy.
I say I wouldn't. I don't notice it, even though you pointed it out. I don't notice it.
It's this piece right here.
Okay.
It's like forever puffy, and I know why it is. I haven't always been that way, but when I was a kid, I was being chased by my brother because he always chased me. And I turned my head and I ran into the mailbox and literally busted my eye. It gave me a concussion, and my eye, that part of my eye has been droopy ever since.
Well, I understand. I had a cousin that was 4 years older than I was. We were the two youngest, and she was adopted. And she had some anger management issues when it came to me. Even though she was never treated any differently, she always felt like she was treated differently, or that I was treated better than she was. And she actually, on 2 different occasions, slammed my hand in their van door. Ooh. It actually, and literally it changed how my nail because like I went like this with my fingers and it slammed into my nails. And it actually, I don't know, you can't really tell it, but
an indention like this one?
Kind of, but it like flattened my nail. Flattened my finger. And so when it grows, it'll grow curve and then flat, or it'll go curve and then my nail starts curling under. So when my nail starts to grow out, I pamper that finger because I always want to see how far it'll curl under now. But so I understand family ruining your features.
Yeah, mine, same thing. My brother, well, he didn't slam my finger in the door. His friend did. He shut the door before I was all the way in. It slammed this thumb in there. And my brother was driving. And he just started driving. I was like, my thumb is stuck. Stop the door. Stop the car. And he wouldn't stop. So it was stuck in there for like 5 minutes. But mine's like that too. But the funny thing is with mine, I'm sure you can see it, how it kind of dents in right there.
Yeah.
Is like the indention grows out. So it's like when your nail grows, this nail either grows down like yours does.
Yeah.
But when this little indention gets to the edge, it starts growing up.
Oh, okay. Mine doesn't grow
so
up.
So weird.
Mine curls. And so when I get acrylics done, like typically I'll get my nails done before we go on vacation. I tell them I'd have to tell the lady about it. So they have to add extra glue on the nail. And one of the ladies, it's the best set that I had done. I had them done at Envy Organics at the mall before our last trip. She took a paintbrush with a little bit of the glue and painted underneath, put it up underneath the nail. And like she left a little bit more of this fingernail than she normally would. And she put the super glue from the bottom to kind of help try to seal it up more. So I appreciated that. They were the best set that I ever had done. And I typically don't get it because, one, working at school, you never know what you're going to be doing. And the type of kids I work with, I don't know what kind of situations sometimes I'm going to have to be in. So acrylic nails is not something you want to have pop off and start spewing words.
Yeah.
Because you do spew words when they get forcibly popped off.
I've only had acrylic nails once.
I get like I said, I used to get them done more when I worked at the chamber, but I was in a professional business setting. Otherwise, I'll have them done for vacation. And I kind of kept them up for a couple months. Let's see. I probably had them done all of November and December of last year. Over Christmas, I kind of let them kind of pop themselves off and whatnot. But if they're not ready to come off and they pop off,
Mine was
words.
So I've had the gel nails before where they just put gel over your nail and they don't like put acrylic on. But the one time I had nails was for our wedding, and I did the pink and white set, like it's with the shimmer in it. It was really pretty, but yeah, it was hell getting them off. Oh, sorry, crap. I didn't mean to say cuss word. It was bad getting them off.
Yeah, you're fine. You didn't say anything bad.
But yeah, I'm just not one to do my nails. It's so funny too, because I do arts and crafts, not as often as you do, but I do arts and crafts and I paint. Like I like to paint more than anything.
Yeah.
So I have canvas sitting around the house, and I would go into work and there would be paint on my hands. And I mean, no one ever sees like my hands are decent hands, but they're not like, I don't ever do pretty nails or anything. But my coworkers would always be like, been painting this weekend, huh? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I got like paint all over my hands.
Randy says his pure ears are now corrupted.
I know. Yeah, pure.
Chrissy really doesn't believe that.
No, not in the least bit.
You've been around us longer than that, Randy. We know better. But I typically get them shorter and kind of squared off. And I just have the clear. Sometimes I'll have them do the glitter, but most of the time I just have them do clear. Then I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing. They're not like a color that I'm trying to match everything to. So
yeah. And I feel like when people do the clear, or just like a little bit of a shimmer to it or whatever, they look most natural and they end up looking really pretty.
Yeah. I was gonna say something and I totally spaced it off. Oh well, it wasn't important. Yesterday, when I was getting ready to, my alarm went off to get up and get ready to go to work. I didn't realize that I was twisted up in my blankets and I fell out of bed.
No. You didn't hurt yourself, did you?
No.
Okay.
My butt hurt a little bit because that's what I landed on, but I was like, great. This is not how I wanted my day to start on a day we're moving furniture.
Yeah.
Not go this route. So it was all good though. No injuries. We about ran over, like we thought afterwards, we were running around moving furniture in the classroom and none of us had shoes on. We had all kicked our shoes off into a corner and we're running around barefoot. We're like, this could have went really bad. Dropped something on someone's foot, ran over a toe. We're just glad it didn't.
Yeah.
And then I think if you were on last night, I kind of mentioned it. We rearranged the classroom 5 times.
She was so tired last night.
Oh my gosh. My muscles are still sore from all that. Because literally, we had to move all the furniture back out. And I can't remember if it was you that asked me this question or if it was someone else. The reason that the furniture wasn't where it was at the end of the year is because they move all the furniture to one side of the room and they shampoo. We have this school hires a company and they come in and they shampoo the carpets. So they shampoo half of the side of the classrooms and they let it dry, and then they move all the furniture to that side of the room, and then they steam clean the other side of the carpets. So all the carpets is fresh and everything's clean for the upcoming classroom and school year. So like literally everything is shoved on cabinet spaces and counters and desks on top of desks on top of desks on top of tables. It's literally, you're like, okay, what piece do you move first and hope it all doesn't fall down? So that's what yesterday consisted of, like all day. And then we had planned to take a half an hour lunch at noon. And then we were going to do one-on-one with the teacher, which was the original plan from Wednesday, like where we wanted to be placed. But we had all kind of on Wednesday said, well, I want to be in this grade and I'll take this grade. And so it all kind of happened organically without having to do this one-on-one. So she sent us a text message literally, I think 10 minutes into lunch and said, hey, I have to run out to my mom's where all my stuff is stored, because she had been a high school special ed resource teacher. And then she was moving to our school to do 4th and 5th. And so she's like, I've got to go to my mom's and pick up my stuff from school, and then I'll be back. So take your lunch until 1, and then we'll start unloading stuff into the classroom. So we literally unloaded her whole car onto one cart. You know those like narrow carts that they pull around folding chairs on at school?
Mm-hmm.
We literally loaded everything onto a cart that narrow because it went through the door at the school.
Oh, okay.
We unloaded her whole car onto this cart. And then we heard stop. And it was one of the custodians, and her eyes were on fire, like blazing. She wasn't mad that we took the cart.
What was she mad about?
All down the hallway was a trail of coffee grounds.
Oh no. And you guys didn't see it, that the custodian did?
Because we were all pushing the cart.
Whoa, that's terrible.
I'm like, we're sorry.
Did you guys clean it up, or did she?
We did.
Yeah, good.
We're like, I said, I know where the vacuum is. I'll vacuum it. And the teacher's like, no, I'll do it. You guys, we found the box, and we put it inside of another box that the custodian brought us. I think she thought at first that we were like purposely, for some reason, it thought we were like sprinkling coffee grounds going down the hallway.
Like a trail to find our way back.
Right. The custodians are under a lot of stress because half of our school doesn't have air conditioning, and it hasn't since like the beginning of May. And
if it's anything like here, our schools are understaffed in terms of custodians.
We are too.
They actually a couple of years ago got rid of all the people that took care of the grounds outside,
and are making the custodians do it.
Actually, they don't make the custodians do it here. They actually have like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts come and do it to earn patches.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've done it every year, not for our school, which is weird. We haven't done it for our school at all. We do it for the school that's the city school. So we're like, we're technically in the city. Our address is in the city. But if we were to drive like one street over, we're in the county. So my area, where I live is considered rural, but we're actually in the city. And we are zoned for a county school, but the school closest to us is a city school, which is right down the road, which is where we usually do our maintenance of the grounds.
Okay. Yeah, we had we're supposed to have like 6 or 8 custodians, and we have 3.
Yeah.
For kindergarten through 5th.
Yeah. It's
so
tough on them.
they're trying to get the classrooms ready for school. They're trying to deal with the air conditioning issue, which has been an ongoing issue since the beginning of May. And then and the custodian came back later and apologized, and she's like, I am so sorry that I yelled at you guys. I know, like, you guys wouldn't purposely track, and leave coffee grounds on the carpet. And we're like, no, like, we had no idea that it had happened. And what had happened is that her coffee can lid must not have been on all the way, and it got jostled when we were moving stuff, and it just started pouring out the corner of the box.
Yeah.
And so we got it all clean. We got it all vacuumed up and cleaned up, and the hallway smelled like French vanilla coffee. So, I mean, that wasn't bad, but
So our schools, they don't have carpet. They have like tile floors, and it's not like, a tile floor that you would have in your home. It's kind of like a Walmart
industrial
floor.
tile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
industrial
it's like a
tile.
Walmart floor, I guess. But each room has like they can get rugs. So a lot of the rooms have rugs. They bring rugs in, and they're all like, especially K through 5, they're all like those rugs that have like numbers on them and things like that. But like you said, they have people that come in and clean. From what I've been told by the teachers here, they actually buff and shine the floors during the
Mhm.
summer. So that it's probably the same concept, just
Yeah.
non-carpet. Although I think the rooms would be warmer if they had carpet. Well, you don't, like you said, your air's out, so you don't. But the schools, the kids are always asking to take jackets to the school because they're freezing, like all through the year, even when it's warm outside.
The only rooms in the school that I know of that are tile is the cafeteria, the bathrooms, and then the kindergarten rooms. The kindergarten, the new edition in quotes, I say the new edition, went up summer when I was going into 5th grade. And so that's been quite a few years. And that's the HVAC system that they have had. Like, they've had trouble with that thing for years. And the new, like, everyone goes, oh, air's out in the new edition again. Like, oh, great.
They probably have a unit. I only know this because my boss, his wife owns a HVAC company, but they probably have a unit or units that are being used for that wing that's too small.
My guess. And so, like, the custodians, like, school starts next Wednesday. The teachers can't get in their classroom because there's no, like, the ceilings are all open because they're trying to work in there. They haven't been able to see and clean the carpets yet. And they're
I bet those carpets smell.
Yeah. One of the teachers goes, my classroom smells like soiled milk.
Ugh.
Hot soiled milk. And I'm
Which is why they clean the carpet every summer.
Exactly, because kids spill. And last year, nobody ate in the cafeteria. All the classes ate in their classroom during the winter, or they had several people in the community donated picnic tables to the school so that they could eat outside during the nice weather.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Our school did that too. They ate in their classrooms. Now, my daughter did say that some classes would eat in the cafeteria. And I was like, well, how do they decide what classes eat in the cafeteria and which ones eat in their room? My guess is that kindergarten probably ate in the cafeteria.
Probably. That's probably, and I think the only reason that our kindergarten didn't is because they have tile floor.
Yeah.
If they had a carpet, my guess is they probably would have eaten in the cafeteria. But this is how old that portion of the school is. Do you remember the style of the school benches that like you rolled up and they walk into the wall and they would pull them out of the wall?
Mm-hmm.
That's the style of seating that the cafeteria is.
Nice.
And then like how like when you were, narrower, you'd try to fit into that. You wanted that spot because you'd try to get into it.
Yeah.
Then you'd get yourself stuck. I was always a little too wide. Like I would fit like partially in there, but that's probably a good thing. Otherwise, I would have been the one to get stuck.
I always liked to. So our high school, the bleachers there. Well, I think every school has the retractable bleachers.
Yes.
But our high school one, because most of the bleachers, they're close enough to the wall on the sides to where you can't like squeeze in between them and go back behind the bleachers. Our high school, it wasn't the case. You could like walk up and down behind the bleachers, and I did it all the time. Didn't I ever think in my mind that somebody could go push that bleacher button and crush me? No, but it could have happened because
It happened on CSI Miami.
it happened on The Faculty. Have you ever watched that movie? Oh my gosh, I love that movie. It's got Josh Hartnett in it. So you remember like back when Josh Hartnett was like the heartthrob.
Yeah.
It's got him in it, but it's like, so they're in, I think it also has the dude from The Hobbit in it. And
Which
like,
one?
not The Hobbit, but Lord of the Rings, the young kid, the kid that was like the main character in
Frodo?
Yeah.
Elijah
Wood, yeah. But so it's about like I think they're in Ohio or something, some just not a really big area, and an alien comes and portrays people, and then they were taking over the school and the teachers, and everybody started acting weird, and they figure it out, and they end up crushing one of the aliens in the bleachers. I mean, it is a really cool movie. It's definitely like that, and probably like the Scream series were movies that I just loved back then. And I would still watch them if they were to come on TV. That I'm watching them. It's kind of like one of those movies that you watch it every time it's on TV, just like I do with Harry Potter. Every time it's on TV, my husband's like, "Oh yeah, it's a Harry Potter weekend. Great."
Yeah. Our elementary has that solid bleachers, and our new high school gym that they built has that style bleachers, but the old high school with gym, which is now the middle school gym, has the old permanent cement bleachers with the wooden benches on it.
We had that, but we didn't have wooden benches. So it was just cement bleachers at my high school outside at the football field. I mean, they were permanent. It was a permanent, really cool looking structure. They had sections painted like black that said blank Panthers. I don't want to say where I'm grew up.
That's okay.
And there was like black and orange sections, and those were sections for like specific, like not students, but these students, but specific grade levels and stuff. And it was so awesome. I really loved those bleachers. They were there the entire time I went through school. And then I went back. I don't remember for what for. Oh, I went to go run. I was staying at my mom's house. I went to go run. I was like, I'm just going to go run the track at the high school. I get to the high school and I was like, what are these dang metal bleachers? Why did they take the cement bleachers out? And they were much safer too, because the cement bleachers didn't have those areas where stuff would fall all the way down to the ground. Whereas the metal ones do. I'm like, these are crappy. I'm like, they should have just left the cement bleachers. Plus, when we were kids, we would run up and down the bleachers as part of our like
workout. Run stadiums.
If they were to do that now,
they could get hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. One of the middle school social studies teacher, I say social studies, American history, geography. He's also the football coach. Got mad at like the class wouldn't shut up. And he's like, everyone put down your stuff, go line up at the door. He's like, everyone's like, okay. He's like, we're going over to the gym. There's no one in there. Go to the gym. He's like, when you get in there, line up along the baseline. Short baseline, go. It was like, I mean, like, this guy is the most even-tempered guy, and he was done. And he's like, you guys want to talk? I'm going to make it so you're too tired to talk. Run stadiums.
No.
And the kids looked at him and like they started to laugh. They're like, right, And he goes, did I stutter? Run. And I was like, would you guys just start to run? They're like, but just do it. Just go.
He was just wanting everyone, they were too hyped up and he needed them to, Ours would take us in there and have us run from one end of the basketball court to the other. And when we got to the other end, we had to do 10 burpees and then back and do it again. People were like falling out after like 4 times of doing that. And they were like, okay, we're good.
We're good.
We'll behave now.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least like 4 sets of stairs on each side of the gym. I think they went through twice. And they're like, we're so sorry. We'll be quiet. Please don't make us do it anymore. He's like, are you guys going to be quiet and listen? And they're like, yes. So,
well, there's not a whole lot teachers can do to keep them in line. You can't really yell at them. I mean, you might be able to a little bit, but you can't cuss at them. You can't. There's not a whole lot of punishment you can do. And considering that a PE teacher in general has you do that kind of stuff, I think you're okay to do that stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, and he was a couple of the kids that literally weren't doing anything wrong. He told them that they didn't have to run. He's like, so they just sat on one of the seats in the gym and just were like, you guys had just been quiet. And like he had I think it, trying to think if that was
right, Randy.
Right, yeah, go figure. I agree with Randy. Same here. I think that was the week that he had written that he was going to give a test on Friday, but I knew and the other para knew that he wasn't actually going to give a test. He was going to give them the option of taking the test on the computer or playing a Jeopardy style game for for a test, and he ended up not giving them the option and added more questions to the test and made it a higher percentage of their grade.
I don't blame him.
My PE
teacher Pinky was crooked, and when he would point, it would stay bent.
Awesome. That is funny.
Yeah. I will have to get off a couple of minutes before 8 because I have stuff that I have to do. I have a meeting actually.
That's fine. Why don't you tell us what is going on for you?
Well, I'm big on the 4 at 7:40 in the morning. I have regular videos that post every Monday and Friday, and then shorts that post every other day. I've got year coming up this month, and Throw Some Shade collaboration that Lena is involved in this month. And that's literally all I have this month. Future, I'm involved in pretty much almost every single one of Lena's collabs. There's, I think, 1 or 2 that I was like, yeah, I can't think of anything that I can do for that. And then I've made a couple of collabs too, and she's involved in those, of course.
Of course I am.
We've got Magical Makeup every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Next week, we've got Alyssa De La Cruz as our guest, and we're doing water-themed makeup. And other than that, just our regular travel talk, castle chat, no travel talk next week. I think we're good.
Okay. So we'll just kind of...
Hi, Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo. We'll just kind of keep chatting and stuff, and then when you have to bow out, I know you have to go, so...
Probably like 5 minutes at the because they
And
like
then,
to log on early.
as I kind of mentioned, this is going to be the last Castle Chat of the summer. This is the 10th week we've done it, Christy.
I like these castle chats. I definitely liked. I
Coffee
know I come
corner?
in. Coffee corner. Sorry. I know I come in late a lot, but they're early enough in the morning where like I can just kind of get a little chatting in before work, and that's fun.
It is. And I do have some other coffee corners scheduled throughout between now and the end of the year. I think I may have one or two scheduled in for after the first of the year, but you'll know that I have a day off of school if there's a castle chat. Or so you got me doing it.
I know.
There's a coffee corner. They're both C's.
Yeah.
So I something that I definitely want to continue, especially during the school year, because this has really helped me kind of keep somewhat of a schedule of getting up early, considering starting next Thursday, I will be up permanently when Sam's alarm goes off at 4:20. I'm up. So
I feel like you've pretty much gotten up early all summer, because I know on days even when we haven't had coffee corner, I've gotten a text from you at like 4:30 and been like, I know you're awake because that's what time you get up.
yeah. I did. I like there's sometimes that I've slept in longer, or like I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I'm gonna go take a nap. But I haven't taken an afternoon nap too often. I was feeling really yucky a couple days, and I just was like, I'm gonna go lay down. But I've really tried to stay into a good schedule. There's been like a few days where I'm like, I'm just gonna stay up and like just make myself stay up. But I'll say it's hard to keep yourself awake when you know that there's nothing going on in your day. Like you're just so I'm like, I didn't have any issues doing it, like transitioning after Christmas break into doing it. And after spring break, I had no issues and stuff. So I'm like, I may be a little groggy, but I think the excitement of starting the new school year and all that kind of stuff will help with some of the groggies. And besides, I can kind of zone on the bus.
Is there anything like for next summer that you can plan to have as something regular to do every day, just to have something regular to do every day?
I don't know. I don't want to take a part-time summer job because like the training last Wednesday, I didn't know about it until like the Monday before. I didn't know about like Wednesday and yesterday until literally the day before. And that's not fair to an employer to go, by the way, my regular job needs me on these days and I'm just not coming in.
Yeah.
You know, that's not fair to them. It's not fair to the other people that I potentially could work with. So I probably won't look for a part-time job, but maybe getting up and going on a walk at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's starting to get kind of daylight.
I will say the summer morning walks or runs or whatever, which I didn't actually do any morning ones this year. I went at lunch or after work, and the last one I did, which was Tuesday, I thought I was going to die. It was like the humidity here was so high.
It been the same way here.
It was bad, and so it's hard to do them. But in the mornings, if you go in the mornings, you can right when the sun's coming up, or maybe even right before. The smells when you're out there are amazing.
Yes,
because you've got all the early morning plant smells. They just smell so good.
Yes, 100%. 100%. I agree with that. So I don't know. It was kind of, and if I had some sort of part-time job, like going on that cruise would have not even been an option.
That's true.
So I know that in like literally the week after I get out of school next year, is the MEV agent training, in Orlando, and Sam and I'm going to go to that. Sam's going, because we get out of school on May 25th, and literally we'll leave the following Friday. We'll drive Friday to Clarksville. No, we leave Saturday. We leave Saturday to drive to Clarksville.
Tennessee?
And then
That's only like an hour and a half from here.
we're actually staying at the Drury Nashville Airport
Oh, really? That's cool.
because it was cheaper than staying in Clarksville. But I mean,
Yeah.
it is a military town, so.
Randy, no, Tuesday it was 102 and it felt like 112.
Yeah, that was
And
how it was here.
I
Yes.
literally, like, I only ran like 2.19 miles and I was about a fourth a mile, half a mile maybe, back from my car. And where I run, there's usually a cop that sits there. Like it's a greenway, but there's usually a cop that takes his lunch there. And I was on my way back and I was like, I hope he's there, because if he's there, I'm going to ask him to drive me to my car. I don't know that I can make it. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. I was like, that was bad.
But so I'm gonna do that, and it's a week train. It's like depends on what you choose to do. It's either 3 days to a week. And we have a group rate at the boardwalk for $269 a night, and it's cheaper than the moderates, and it's normally $500 something a night.
Yeah.
So I'm actually staying. We're checking in the 5th, and Sam's leaving either Friday or Saturday.
Well, I do need to go, but I'm
Oh.
going to ask this last question.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
How long do I have to decide to do that? Because I'm thinking about.
Registration is right now is $95 until the beginning of October, and then it goes up to $100 and something.
Okay.
So I've already paid for the registration. It was $95 when I paid it, and it's
Right.
like I said, it's to beginning of October.
I'll
I
look
think-
at it.
I think the deadline is sometime in March, but I think if you're going to book a room through the group rate, you have to let them know by X time.
Okay. Cool. Well, I better go. I've got to run
All right.
and pee before.
Sounds good. We will chat later.
Bye.
Bye. We will be staying at All Star Music. That will be toward the marathon is towards the end of our trip, and we'll have been there a while already. So we will be at All Star Music for marathon weekend. But as Chrissy was talking about, I was saying for since Chrissy had to go, we're going to drive there, and then Sam's going to leave either Friday or Saturday and drive back. And then I'm actually staying for an additional week. And I will fly home on the 17th. Oh, awesome! Did Christy get your marathon weekend stuff booked for you, Randy? That's awesome. So, I'm excited for that. Sam and I are planning to upgrade to annual passes while we're there in December. And that'll make it nice because then literally all I'm doing is while we're there is we're paying for the room and some food. And we'll have awesome Saturday and Sunday nights. Awesome. When we get there, initially, we'll have the car. And so instead of using one of the grocery delivery services, we can go to Walmart, we can go to Publix, we can go to Target, and we can pick up grocery stuff. That way there's snack stuff, there's drinks, there's that, like, instead of having it all delivered, we can just run to the store and do that. So that'll be nice. And then while I'm in training stuff, Sam is actually going to go around and film resort tours at all the different resorts and stuff. So we've got multiple things going on. But like Christy, I have things I have to get accomplished today. It's my last Friday, and it's payday, and I haven't made a grocery list yet. So, oh yes, Character Warehouse trip, definitely. One of the things that, this is going to sound really crazy, but one of the things that we were in like such a rush to get down there, and then it was such chaos getting home. One of the things that we want to do is we want to stop at that gas station, the Beaver one. I think Buc-ee's gas station. There, we saw several of them as we were driving by, but we were trying to get on down to Florida. So we're going to stop at Buc-ee's. We're going to go to Character Warehouse. We're going to go to the big Target and Walmart that's right behind Disney, that's got tons of souvenir stuff. So we've got lots of plans of videos and stuff that we want to do. And like I said, we may end up, right now the plan is to leave on Saturday, but we may end up leaving Friday. It just depends. We can always make changes to that type of hotel reservation, even like a couple weeks out, in case we want to be able to just kind of meander a little bit more. So, but yes, happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Be careful. And we will see you back here tonight for Castle Chat at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, with our friend Melanie, the Theme Park Adventures. And have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight. And hopefully I will not be a puppy snotty mess.